As of now, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are on a mission to basically reversing the Star Wars franchise to becoming a more positive experience again by not only really satisfying the fans by reviving Star Wars Legends, but to also just reunite the fandom to where it's not so divided and not so different between different groups of fans. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about, of course, the entire Star Wars franchise and what's happening to it right now is that there's a lot of things happening between Kathleen Kennedy, Favreau, Filoni, George Lucas, and more. And the Disney board members are scrambling to finding ways or avenues to balancing the Star Wars franchise and to kind of just mix both Legends and the current canon together so that it can coexist. Now that brings us to exactly what's been going on between both Jon and Dave and what they recently were able to establish that I believe is really going to make a lot of fans happy when it comes to one of their upcoming spin-off shows, one of their new Star Wars TV shows that they're currently working on, that's going to be announced officially at D23 later this year. Now, we already know that Celebration is going to be a home of a lot of announcements, however, D23 is going to have even more. So basically, they're setting up this entire roadmap in 2023. Now that brings us to what Favreau and Filoni are really preparing for the fans. What's really going on? Well, we already know that everything is being set up for the future in Ahsoka and also in Mando Season 4 and what that's all going to entail, right? So anyways, on top of all of this, alright, with Favreau and Filoni currently hard at work on developing many major Star Wars stories, they have recently been developing a very important one for the Star Wars franchise that will be announced later this year. Now, it's noted that both Favreau and Filoni just started writing the script and illustrating storyboards for a new Star Wars TV show that is set to focus on both Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra Bridger, that is going to include untold tales of the unknown regions of the galaxy. Now, the series is actually set to be a setup to the Ahsoka Tano show that will take place before it, and of course after it as well. This is a series that is aimed to be released sometime in 2025 for the fans to witness. The series is also set to focus on a place called the New Beyond, a location that will be uncovered in Skeleton Crew, which was added in by Favreau. Now, I want to pause here, for 1 second. Now, the thing about Thrawn and Ezra, they are going to be introduced first off in the Ahsoka series, but what they are now trying to establish is pretty much giving the official story or the official background of what happened to both Thrawn and Ezra in the unknown regions. If you guys have seen Rebels Season 4, you all know that they went into hyperspace and they were never to be seen again on board of that Star Destroyer, and we did not get to see them after that. Basically, this new show that's being formed by both Jon and Dave is going to explore all the secrets about that, what really happened to both Ezra and Thrawn, and it's going to show us a very strange relationship between a villain and a hero having to work together for a means to an end, to getting out of the unknown regions, and then eventually becoming divided again, becoming, enemies again by the time Ahsoka arrives. This to me sounds like a very interesting type of scenario where you're going to have a villain and a hero to work together to get out of a region in the galaxy that is so complex to escape. If you guys have seen The Rise of Skywalker, you will know that escaping the unknown regions is very hard. Now, especially getting there is hard enough. You have to have a wayfinder, you have to have a specific path to get there, specifically, of course, in the case of Exegol. But with the unknown regions, you have to have a specific hyperspace route to actually get there. And that's why it's called the unknown regions after all. Now, the thing about this too is that Jon and Dave are really trying to set up new secrets of the dark side, new secrets of the Force, and how this show alone is going to have a lot to do with the origins of the galaxy. That's another thing that Jon and Dave are adding into this series. Now, beyond this, alright, the Thrawn and Ezra series is also set to focus on stories of the Night Sisters and new canon on their dark magic that will be utilized in live action. Now, the series is aimed to be a mystery thriller genre, much like the Acolyte show. However, this is going to be Jon and Dave's version of the Acolyte series as far as a mystery thriller goes. It's going to be a story that will focus on two foes, Ezra and Thrawn, and how they live throughout the unknown regions and also find a way out, and how it's connected to the Ahsoka series. Now, surprisingly, Luke Skywalker is also set to have a big influence on the show once more. Now, again, what I like about the current state of the franchise and where it's heading is that each and every show is almost like its own format or its own genre. You know, The Mandalorian is its own thing, the Ahsoka series is going to be its own thing, and in this case, it's going to be its own mystery thriller type of thing. Now, this is said to be Jon and Dave's version of the Acolyte, and what I mean by that is not necessarily a carbon copy at all, but rather the same type of genre, but their version of telling it that way. So, Kathleen Kennedy's The Acolyte is a mystery thriller, but this Ezra and Thrawn spin-off is also going to be a mystery thriller. That means it's going to have a lot of surprises, a lot of shocking moments in here, a lot of revelations, and you can expect a lot, because Jon and Dave have said this before, that a lot of their upcoming installments, a lot of their new shows, it's going to be very strong with the Force, meaning that it's going to be embedded within that mythology and within what fans love the most about Star Wars. You know, the Jedi, the Sith, the dark and the light, good and evil, all of that is going to be a big focus for the future. Now, mind you, a lot of fans, you know, it's okay if you like Andor specifically, or if you like things like The Mandalorian, but even The Mandalorian is heading in that route of really establishing that mythology avenue to it all. So overall, you know, there's a lot of things coming out of this. The fact that they have, you know, Iman Esfandi portraying Ezra, and we also have, of course, Mikkelsen up for the role of Thrawn, and how Luke is going to come back into the equation once again. The unknown regions, we didn't really get to explore that all that much in Episode 9. We only got a glimpse of it. You know, we only got the Wayfinder route, and we also got Exegol. And we didn't really get the entire adventure, so to speak, of the unknown regions. And we're going to be learning a lot more about that in this upcoming spin-off that they're trying to get out by 2025. It may sound like a far ways, but let's just put it this way. It's only 2 years out. You know, they want to get this thing out by the beginning of that year. January to March at the latest. And look, it's already been 3 years. Over 3 years since The Rise of Skywalker release. Look how fast that flew by. So 2 years, it's going to be a breeze. It'll be here before you know it. So anyways, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.